It's a dirty business, man. It's a dirty business.
I still remember the number, like when you would hit our contest, which is what you were like striving for, your sales goal for the year. When I hit that, I think it was probably like $75,000. What you make the company in the course of that year, give it a ballpark number. What do you think?
$2 million.
It's a good guess. No,
strong guess.
$624,000.
Oh my God, dude.
You're like, hey, we're gonna cut you a piece of the pie, and we're gonna give you a nice 75 piece. You're like, are you kidding me? I made you $500,000.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to another episode of Men at Work podcast. We're out here in Haddon Township at the Brews and Cruise. It's a car show in Haddon Township. We're doing a little home and home here. We were in Philadelphia last episode. Now we're in the Haddon Township where you reside.
Yeah, dude. Welcome to my domicile. Welcome to my dojo here in suburban New Jersey. I know you city folk are absolutely mesmerized by seeing just houses and things like that. So I was excited to bring you guys out here, man. The Brews and Cruise sounds like a DUI. That's what most of the guys are going to be doing to get home from here. But, you know, it's a good time. Everybody's pretty excited. Some cool shit here, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I drove out here and I went right by a homeless guy. I was like, how'd he get out?
Yeah, I know, dude. They travel. They're making a long trek these days.
And you know we're never going to send him back because he's not paying the toll.
Is that what it is?
He's never coming back. Well, how's he going to get the toll?
I'll compensate. I've actually scratched by a couple tolls myself, very honestly. I didn't have any cash a couple times, and the lady just screamed to me, and I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and go.
Is that what happens?
Yeah. You get like a $400 ticket in the mail, whatever it is.
Damn.
You just got to be forthright. You got to let them know, hey, look, I have $3.22. Do you want to count change today? And they go, no, I don't.
They are sticklers about exact change.
Yeah.
It is wild.
All of them. And they're all very mean. Did you ever hear the rumor that the people that worked in the toll booth were making like six figures?
No.
That was like a popular thing in New Jersey is they would say like, oh, what are you, a toll booth worker? Which meant like you made a lot of money without working hard.
Well, I think it's like our big dogs, our blue collar babies, the union is probably taking care of them, but it's also like the pension has to be amazing. Or maybe it was back in the day. I know obviously there's not really a lot of people around here anymore doing the old tolls whenever I go by. I mean, I have an Easy Pass. I'm not an asshole. I think if you don't have an Easy Pass, you are the generation of an asshole. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
If you're not, but you didn't have an Easy Pass at that point.
I do now. Thank God I've learned from my mistakes. But there was about a year period where I was going to and fro Drexel University to visit my beautiful baby girl in college, and I would just go cash every time.
Really?
And it was the only $5 that I would have for the entire day. Stop at a Wawa, take out a couple beans, just to go get my heart broken. But
do you know how redundant you're sounding?
How so?
Going to Wawa, free surcharge, by the way. Shout out to Wawa.
Yeah.
Just to get, a 20 ounce so that you can pay the toll instead of just getting the Easy Pass and then hooking it up to your bank account. Like, why are we such lazy people?
I couldn't figure out how to get an Easy Pass. I was like 19.
Did you go to the bridge?
Yeah, of course.
You go to like Frank S. Farley Plaza. You go to any plaza on the way down the shore, or any plaza on any Pennsylvania highway, and you get one. They advertise it.
Yeah, but I know, but I'm scared. I was a 19-year-old scared guy. You know me as a 28-year-old scared guy. You think I was more brave when I was 19? I'm not going to get an Easy Pass. I need mental help.
We need to send you to Scared Straight or something like that.
I'm already scared, dude. You got to get me to Brave Straight.
What else are you scared of?
Just about everything, which is kind of nuts because I'm a bigger dude, but everything just makes me gosh darn nervous.
Are you scared of is it the interaction that tweaks you a little bit?
I think I'm going to say something wrong, and they're going to call me out. I always think I'm going to say something wrong, and then a huge microphone's going to drop, and then an intercom will go, and they'll be like, attention, everybody. This dumbass said that he doesn't know how to get an Easy Pass. And everybody laughs at me. That's what I think's going to happen.
There is no doubt in my mind that you'd rather sit and have a gift that you don't want than return it to like a Target or a Walmart because you don't want to deal with the interaction of like them being like, do you have your receipt? And maybe you don't have your receipt or this or that.
Last year, I bought a suitcase thing for my girlfriend and spent $220, realized it was the wrong one, and I just bought it and then bought another one.
Instead of getting your $220 back?
That's right.
Have you used it?
No. It's in my storage unit.
That's insane.
I haven't even told my girlfriend about this.
That's insane. Man.
It's crazy, dude.
Do you want to bring me?
Huh? Yeah, absolutely.
Bring me.
I need you to come and do normal interactions with me because you're very like, this, that. And I'm a little kind of antsy. That's why we have a nice dynamic here. So I need you to just come in my regular life and just help me out.
Wow, man. A $220 luggage case.
Yeah. And the next one that I bought was like $140. So I should have been spending less money.
Wow. That's actually hilarious. That the one you actually gave her was cheaper than the one you bought.
It's the one she wanted, dude.
What is it, though? Like, is it just like, are you afraid of making a fool of yourself?
Maybe so. I think it's growing up with red hair. You're a little more on edge. Truly, it is. Every movement you make, everybody's like, ew, he's got red stuff on him.
Dude, don't blame
Huh?
Don't blame your childhood bullies. Don't blame your childhood bullies for your trauma.
Yeah, they gave me guff, and I got roughed up as a kid, and now I'm a little more on edge.
I don't believe that. You played sports in high school. You had to be somewhat popular.
Yeah, you know, I got the job done, but not well. You know what I'm saying? I was a prom king, but not the handsome one, the funny one.
You were bullied as a prom king?
No, at that point I was crushing it, dude. Yeah.
All right. You were prom king?
Uh-huh. Yes, I was, dude. Put a little picture here.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. Prom king, Mr. Gloucester Catholic. That was everything, yeah.
How many people in the graduating class?
Like 122.
That's still pretty good.
Not bad, yeah.
I had 250. I came in like third or fourth.
Really?
Yes. One of the worst days of my life, obviously.
Yeah, we'll get him next year.
Yeah. You know me.
Yeah, dude.
The ego is just insanely humongous.
Well, you're Mr. Cool. At this point, our viewers have seen you absolutely bawling out at the charity game over there. You want to recap at your greatest accomplishment, your greatest play of all time?
Yo.
Hello, Kyle. What are you doing?
Nothing. Sitting here watching the game, smoking some Thrive.
Are you all alone? Who's that?
Yo, pick up the phone.
What's up?
Yo, Cheeto, pick up the phone.
Yo. What's up?
What you doing, son?
Nothing. Just chilling. Killing.
True. I'm so sore.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like there are parts of my body that I didn't even know could be sore. I'm if everyone's watching, I'm gonna be hunched over. I'm gonna be leaning to the side. Like this part of my body hurts. This is okay. The left part of my sternum hurts. I just pointed to my back for some reason. My right toe is killing me. My left knee hurts. I have turf burn on the right one. I made a diving tackle to save the championship game.
An incredible play, I gotta say, dude. It really was pretty impressive to watch.
Jason Avant was so excited, which was actually the most hilarious thing in the world because he wasn't even my coach.
Oh, really? He was on the other team?
He was on the other team.
Oh, my God.
And it was like 4 seconds left to go. The guy throws it up. Interception by a guy named Jervis, who was actually on Survivor. 54 years old, dude. That dude, he had like 4 touchdowns in that game. Amazing.
54 years old.
I can barely get out of bed.
That's crazy.
Like at 31, I can barely get out of the bed. This dude is like running crossing routes and he's built like he could literally be in training camp in like 6 months.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. And so he intercepted it, jumped over everybody, and he's running down the sideline. I'm coming from the exact opposite sideline, and I chase him down, grab his flag, and people went nuts. I am the weirdest runner of all time, though.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, yeah.
As my height, like my strides,
you gangle a little bit.
They don't make sense.
No, they don't.
Like I should be running like a gazelle.
Well, that's a little, I mean.
But I should be running like a gazelle. I'm not saying I should be as fast as a gazelle, but I should be running like a gazelle.
I'd say your top half chops air like a gazelle. You move like it looks like your lower body is letting you down the whole time. But your top half's like, look, I'm here to play. That's what I saw from the video. I saw big chops. It was pretty impressive.
I'm a top runner.
You're a top runner. You're a top dude. Yeah.
I'm top. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I thought it was sick, but I was pumped.
I run like they did in Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Like,
but your top half is the legs.
My top is the legs. Yeah, I'm pumping so hard, and the legs are just like standing absolutely still.
Oh, I wish I could do the noise, whatever that noise is. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, man, but that's still sick. I mean, you got Philadelphia recognized your athletic feat. Yeah, I didn't want to be too. I can't get you too big for your bridges here, dude. That was still.
God, were you impressed? Do you think I had that in me?
I was pretty pumped to see it, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. I said, look at this freaking guy go, dude. You know what it was? Forrest Gump when he gets his legs off.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
That's what it was.
I was running without the braces.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you were running without braces, dude.
Oh my God,
you
I
had
just
rubber
got
bands
the
in
braces
that
off. Yeah. Hey, listen, former all-Catholic honorable mention here, 9 points per game at Lansdale Catholic. Okay, so put some respect on my name a little bit.
Absolutely, man. I looked at. I'm in the presence of greatness, and it never gets lost on me.
No, I'll be honest with you. I don't know how many charity games you've been invited to.
Dude, I'm being complimentary here. What the heck is this?
I don't know how many charity games you've been asked to attend.
Yeah,
pretty big deal if you didn't know. There's a fine line, obviously, and I'm sure, and obviously you've done corporate America stuff, and I've done corporate America stuff. So when you do get to the softball game, or you get to the basketball game, it's like, all right, you don't want to be the hard ass. You don't want to take Mary from accounting into the post, throw a bow in her fucking sternum and dunk on her.
Yeah.
So I kind of was like trying to toe that line because I'm playing with legit pretty good athletes, And then you're also playing with like Big Brothers, Big Sisters, the marketing corporate events coordinator. Like, so you got to be like, all right, toe the line. Like 2 minutes in, I was like full bore, ready to go. The first team we played came down, scored on us right away, and I was like, all right, this is fucking over.
Now it's on. Yeah.
Now it's on.
Now I'm glad you're like your default is a nice guy, because Jason Avant walking towards you after that play, if you would have talked shit, that would have been the funniest thing of all time.
I was talking shit though.
You let him know. You let him hear it.
I was talking shit during the game. I was talking shit to Hollis Thomas, former Eagle defensive lineman or offensive lineman, I forget.
Yeah.
He used both his timeouts with 8 minutes left to go in the game. I was like, dude, you did learn from Andy Reid.
Oh yeah.
It's like, what kind of clock management is that? So I was talking shit to him. He could eat me, legitimately eat me. He's probably like 6'3", 400 pounds. Barrett Brooks was my coach. He's a former offensive lineman for the Eagles. He's probably about 6'4", 320, 350. He's a big dude. And there was some other linebacker from back in the day who I never heard of. Jason Avant could still suit up though.
Yeah, he looks still jacked, still in crazy shape. I was like, oh my God, these guys just don't ever, they can't get it out of their brain. They just have to be elite athletes.
Dude, charity events are cool though. Invite us to your charity event.
Yeah, I'll play, dude. Let's play a little hacky sack, a little pickleball or something.
Yeah. Most importantly, want to thank our blue collar babies. That was your cue, Matt. Anyway, keep going. We want to thank our middle class.
Oh, I skipped on a couple middle class.
Do we have to? Do we
we
take a break and go around the corner and talk?
Yeah, please don't hurt me. I'm sorry, sir. Please.
And we want to thank our white collar criminals for the best fans in the world. We really, really appreciate everybody who's tuning in. The numbers are staying strong. We're 12 episodes in, 13 episodes in. So we really do appreciate that. The followers are growing and everything. It's all thanks to you guys.
Yeah, man.
I didn't know if you know this because we weren't on podcasts before. We are on podcast now, Spotify, Apple, and wherever you can get your podcasts. Obviously, we've been on YouTube this whole entire time. And then the Patreon, patreon.com/menatworkpod. That's continually growing. We love you guys for that. Right now, we are running a $1 tier. That's the Cheeto tier. The first 50 people that get in on that will get $1 a month, and that's just extra bonus content. A lot of man on the street stuff. A lot of I think we have me and Vito are going to do a 4 to 5 minute stand up set coming up, which is going to be absolutely soul crushing. Like, I'm legitimately nervous. And we're going to put your set in there too, so you better bring it.
No, you have to pay to watch my set. Sorry, but I'm horsing. They don't fool. Can't fool around anymore. No, I'm excited, dude.
You got to pay to watch my shit.
But that's the stuff with the Patreon, dude. We do crazy shit, and if you pay us to do it, we will probably do it. Whatever you suggest, just let us know.
We do the craziest fucking shit.
Yeah, we do wild X kind of stuff, man.
Yeah, dude. X-rated on the Patreon. That's all you can get.
Yep.
No clothes.
Full body.
Clothing optional.
Sure.
All right. Let's see what kind of people go to a car show.
Let's get some pals. Hey guys, we just do a podcast. We ask people what they do for a living. You want to hop on like 3 minutes, just talk about your job, anything you want to talk about?
You're gonna give a fun job.
It's a good time. You don't have to say the company's name. Just talk about what you do.
Just what you do.
We got a fellow teak man here, dude. So we got a.
Oh shit.
Hello.
Teak. I don't know. We're not frat guys, so I don't really know what teak is.
Yeah, man.
What's your name?
My name's Mike.
Mike, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Here for the car show.
Yeah. What kind of what do you do for a living? What kind of work do you do that you love car shows?
Well, totally unrelated and probably the opposite of what I do for a job. I'm a research scientist.
Oh.
Yeah.
What do you research?
Recycling. Plastics.
Got it. I love it.
So all the plastic bag bans and things like that. I play with straws and plastic bags all day.
How many microplastics am I ingesting a day?
So many.
I kind of like them at this point, though. I think they're making me stronger.
Yeah. Like, I don't really do the microplastic stuff. I do like the how the plastic dissolves and how it fragments, and then someone else takes over. Once it fragments and turns into little pellets, it's not my problem anymore.
But so you see like the microplastic stuff is happening a lot. Is it really like a thing to worry about?
I don't. The answer is maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, not to make this a giant science conversation because you asked.
You sat down.
No, seriously, we'd love to hear.
Yeah, we'd love to hear.
But it gets to the point where like it depends on what's in the microplastic, so what's it made out of.
Got it.
And the shape of the microplastic. There could be fibers, there could be flakes, there could be all sorts of different shapes, and I'm not an expert in microplastics by any means.
Sure.
We'll ask you one question. What's the healthiest microplastic to ingest? What's
fiber sounds good.
Fiber does sound good.
No, fiber, like polyesters. The plastics that are in your non-cotton shirts.
Yeah.
I've had a dog that ate a polyester shirt before. He
absolutely
survived.
Yeah, he was better after,
I'm sure
honestly.
there's some concentration of these that's bad for you. I don't know, man.
Okay.
You know? But yes, I play with straws and bags, and I recycle.
Okay.
Okay.
It's kind of like my pitch for my
Glorified trash man. I like that.
job. Yeah, kind
Nice.
of.
That actually gets paid well.
All of my colleagues, they get to do fun stuff, and they go in the field and they catch jellyfish, or they're in the field on boats and doing cool stuff. No.
So there's this new in Jersey, I think it's in Philly too, where you're the plastic bag ban.
Yes.
Is that one of those things that it's like somebody's got to come up with an idea, or is there actual studies behind it that say this may help?
There's absolutely studies behind it, but the goal has to be you have to reuse the bag.
Right.
You can't
Keep
just
buying one. Every time I go, I buy a new bag.
See, that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the opposite of what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
That makes it worse.
Okay.
Oh, you guys are allowed to have plastic bags as long as you buy them?
So they're not even plastic. They're kind of like these woven bags, or a lot of
Yeah,
times it's like a brown paper bag type thing.
Ours are brown, yeah.
Brown paper bags, they can be plastic depending on the type of plastic, as long as they're reusable.
Got it.
It's kind of like there's like some farce in this, in that you'll see companies, or you'll go to a business for takeout, and they'll say they're going to say in the container, they're going to say reusable plastic.
Right.
You're never reusing that.
No.
You know when you go get a gyro and it comes in a container with some rice, you're never reusing that. You're never
100%.
it's going right in the recycling bin.
Yeah, that one felt like it was always like kind of like a lob for an alley-oop to businesses to be like, oh, you can actually charge them for bags now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're kind of taking advantage of that a little bit.
It doesn't bother me. I use the bags all the time.
At home, are you like a recycling Nazi?
Oh, no. No, that's why I said, you asked about, you started this conversation, you said, what kind of job do you do that brings you to a car show? I have a 1991 Oldsmobile that is in violation of the Clean Air Act.
Okay.
And I just like the car, It takes 93 fuel, it's bad for the environment.
Yeah.
It gets like between 16 and 23 miles to gallon. Yeah, it's the opposite of what I do.
So not even our world's greatest scientists that are trying to make sure this fireball in my face right now comes down to us and burns us to a crisp.
You can't help it, man.
Is even doing everything.
The car is in violation of the Clean Air Act, but it's legal in New Jersey. It's
Okay.
Anything after, I think, I don't know. What's the date now that you don't need an inspection anymore?
You're asking the wrong guy.
It would never pass. It would never pass.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No.
So there's probably some irony in you driving home in this old car with your reusable bag and going, I'm saving the planet.
No doubt. No doubt. I didn't say that I was perfect, but anyway.
Taylor Swift's private jet is flying over top of you as this happens. Yeah.
Do you you pour so much hours and time into your work, and I feel in the back of your mind you're probably like, we're never going to solve this in a way, but how's that feel?
I mean, we're never going to solve it. Sure, maybe not in my lifetime or this generation. I kind of accepted some of that. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
But I do support the notion of like transitional change. They talk about green energy, renewable energy.
Got it.
And really, the way that it should be framed is energy diversity.
Okay. Go more.
And energy security and diversity. In that, people don't want wind power. Well, I'm like, if we have 5 or 6 different sources of major sources of energy, that's a good thing, regardless of what it is. So if you have oil, if you have natural gas, if you have nuclear, if you have offshore wind, if you're using biogas from composting facilities, these are all good things.
They are,
for
okay.
energy diversity and security. Some of them are good for climate. Some of them are less good for climate change.
I know nuclear energy is a really big sticking point with people right now, but people seem to be like, who are proponents of it, being like, this is the cheapest, it is the greenest, and it's probably the best in terms of it. Are people right?
It's risky. If you look at France is a big country for nuclear energy, and they predominantly run off nuclear, but it's a big issue. And I mean, what was the Oyster Creek just shut down down in South Jersey? I mean, this is something that's probably seen in the news.
What happened there?
They shut it down. It hit its life expectancy, and they shut it down. But they have the casks that are holding the former isotopes or whatever spent nuclear rods are, and they're going to be there for the rest of time.
Yeah, doesn't it take? It takes.
Wow.
I'm reading a book actually called Nuclear War by Annie Jacobson.
Okay.
It's don't read it if you want to think that we're ready for a nuclear invasion, because we're not.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how 1,000 years it takes for plutonium to just lose its radiation.
Yes, and that's why they're stored this way. Is that I mean, this is a location that you'll never step foot on. That will never be built upon ever again. That, at least again in our generation, will never be used for anything again.
Yeah.
While they just stored spent nuclear rods there.
Yeah.
So it's less about fear of an explosion, like a nuclear explosion, and more about how it seeps into the environment around it.
Partially, I mean, I think the risk of the perceived risk of these things is so great that would you want one in your backyard?
No, not at all.
You're like,
True.
Is it? And that's a big issue in New Jersey because no matter what, you think there's bad parts of New Jersey is pretty affluent no matter where you go.
Yeah.
We have a very high standard of living pretty much everywhere you are in New Jersey, with the exception of a few locations. Sure.
Yeah.
A select few.
Right.
Wow. So one more thing before we let you go. What are you like working on right now? Like what are you like? What your day to
something
day
you're excited about.
I spent the entire day working on bioplastics. So this is like your plastic straws and things that are framed. Your bioplastic straws.
Yeah.
So bioplastics. The only difference between a regular plastic and a bioplastic is the carbon source. Being that, is it from fossil fuel or is it from corn?
Oh.
It doesn't mean it's better environmentally necessarily, and it doesn't mean it's biodegradable.
Okay.
Oh, so what? It's just is it a cost-effective thing, or is it
marketing?
It's a lot of it's marketing.
Wow.
And that's a big publication that'll be coming out hopefully in the next year, about a year and a half.
I'll be honest with you, brother,
Wow.
man. The planet can die. I'm not doing a paper straw.
They're not my favorite. They're
They
not
suck.
I just bailed on the straws.
They do stink out loud.
That's true.
I don't need a straw.
I do. Are you happy how coffee shops have switched to the lid that's more like the sippy cup lid?
Yeah, I don't need the straw. I stopped using straws years ago just because I thought they were weird.
Yeah.
And it was like what am I using it for?
I think it's
just didn't need
good
it.
too if you're trying to retain some level of the false masculinity of like I don't use straws.
That's
I just
right.
suck
That's
it
right.
out of the cup.
I'm a manly man. I don't use straws. That's
Yeah,
right.
Of course.
That's
yeah.
right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, dude, good luck saving the planet.
Yeah,
I
man. Thanks
appreciate
for
it,
doing
guys.
it.
It's been fun.
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
it, man. Yeah, back it in, brother.
It's a nice fucking car.
Are you a car guy? Are you into
No.
like trying to get a fancy type of thing?
Now, if you give me an Audi and a shore house, I'll be the happiest guy in the world. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Literally, to have an Audi and a shore house. And I don't even know if I want an Audi anymore. Thanks. Like an Audi Q8, an Audi Q4. I think those were just like cars that I really enjoyed driving when I used to valet. But then I used to drive like Honda Pilots and Honda Accords, and I was like, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm big on that. I'm not a car guy.
Yeah.
I need like a nice place to live. A car comes very distantly second.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, shore house and an Audi, and I know that, that's luxury, baby. Like that's when, when our parents were growing up, what was it? It was I don't know, like a 4-bedroom rancher, and
Yeah, for like $45.
yeah.
We just
And
bought
a high school diploma.
Yeah, we just bought like a 9-bedroom mansion, and it cost $11, and I had to kiss the real estate agent.
Yeah.
It's like, must be nice.
It's crazy.
Not I'll rent till I die, baby.
Yeah.
You'll own nothing and you'll like it, they say.
We are going to be a generation of renters, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Let's get this hippie
Where's he at?
straight ahead. The old guy.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you? Doing a podcast. We just ask people what they do for a living. Just need 3 minutes of your time. Take a load off.
Oh, Billows.
Time out here in Haddon Township at the car show.
Yeah.
Got a bunch of nice different kind of cars here. Yeah, we love this place.
Yeah.
Great day today.
Living here for a while.
I've been here for about 20 years, over 20 years
Woo.
now. Yeah, long time.
Where are you from beforehand? Where are you coming from?
Maple Shade, New Jersey.
Maple Shade, right down the road. Now, what do you do for work?
I'm an electrician.
An electrician. Oh,
Blue
God.
collar baby.
Yeah.
The foundation of America, sir. How long you done that for?
About 35 years, 40 years.
You love it or you hate it? What's the
I
verdict?
love it.
Really?
Yeah, it's great.
It's hard work, though. The manual labor doesn't get to you at
Good
all.
days and bad.
Yeah.
And yes, it does get to me some days, but I take the good with the bad.
Union or private?
Private, work for a private contractor.
Nice. Your own place or no?
No.
No. Nice.
But,
Nice.
You know,
How do you like it? Were you ever a union guy or were you
you get by. I get by. I like it. I don't mind it at all.
yeah
Yeah.
commercial or are we doing more home
Residential.
residential?
Yep.
Nice.
Mostly,
like this.
Mostly in this area.
It's like a nice power dynamic. You're like
Yeah.
lauding over top of us. I feel like we're reporting to you, sir. So
Oh,
you,
yeah, it's great. It's great.
I'm looking directly in the sun right now. You are really he's powered. he's got the higher ground right now.
And we got the little woman with us today, Missy.
Hi Missy, how
Hello.
are you?
Yeah,
Beautiful
come
to see
here,
you.
say
Come
hi.
on.
Absolutely.
We got another one.
Yeah,
We'd love to have you.
All right.
That's a great
Yeah.
time.
So what do you like about your work?
So you don't like the job? Okay. Yeah. So we hate the job.
It's a job, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
You know, I don't mind. It's different every day. And you make a living.
What's
You
your
get by, you know
what's your
what I mean?
specialty? Big circuit breaker guy? You big
Electrical circuits, outside lighting, small jobs. You know, I do the small ones. I don't do the big ones anymore.
what kind of big ones were you used to be doing?
New homes.
How was that?
It was monotonous after you do it for about 10 years.
Yeah.
You know.
How's the regulation on that?
Today, it's so out of control with all the nonsense.
What's the nonsense?
Yeah.
the regulations, the code. Everybody, all the old timers getting out of it.
So as two guys who have never done anything blue collar in their life, what kind of like regulations did you guys have to people have to go through nowadays that they didn't have to in the back?
When you're wiring a house, you have to put smoke detectors in every bedroom, one on every floor. You gotta have an outlet within 6 foot of the doorways. You can't put. You have to put a light in a crawl space if there's mechanicals down there. And if they decide not to put mechanicals, they still sometimes make you put them in there.
Yeah.
Oh, a slew of stuff.
And then what did it used to be like?
We could do a whole house in 8 to 10 hours, rough it all in, wire it.
And how long does it take now?
Probably 2 days.
But you hear these stories about when people buy like an older house, they're like, the electrical's all fucked up. I mean, is that like, are they going by the standard that it is now, or is it the electrical is actually better, so the old stuff is was bad all
along? They
along?
make a big huff. The insurance company make a big huff about this knob and tube wiring and all.
Yeah.
What's knob and tube wiring? If you don't mind us
It's a
asking.
wiring that it's been around for 1,000,000 years, and it's okay if it's left alone.
Oh.
You know, but the insurance companies make the people to buy an older home, they squeeze them and make them replace it.
The entire thing?
Yeah, the knob and tube. If it's in there, to give them insurance at a decent rate.
What's the new line of wiring that we're doing?
It's Romex. It has
Romex.
a third wire, and it has an outer casing on it. The knob and tube don't have an outer casing.
Yeah.
It's single strand. It goes through these porcelain knobs and tubes. It never touches the wood or anything like that. It's been around for 1,000,000 years, and I've never really had an issue with it.
You know, I feel like if someone did a little bit of research, I wouldn't be shocked if you could just find like Romexes in bed with like big insurance companies or something like that.
Did you just make a pun about being shocked?
No, I didn't actually, but shout
Look
out
at
to me.
that, dude. He's heard that one a time or two.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, the government and the insurance companies are in one.
That's what I feel like. Yeah.
So when we're overcharging people for the insurance,
Yeah.
so the insurance companies can make a bit more profit.
My inspection is insane this year.
Yeah.
For the cars and stuff. Have you done an inspection lately?
I haven't been there in years.
Oh,
no.
or not inspection, registration.
Yeah.
Registrations have like gone up 60%. It's insane.
What do you mean? Like they're more thorough? about it?
They've just become expensive. Like,
Oh my god.
no one has an answer. They're just like, I
I
was
got
talking
news
to
for you. The material for electrical
Yeah.
is unbelievable what the material cost. The Romex wires to be $44 a roll is now $112, and that's within 5 years. Sometimes they're just so far out, I can't even believe it.
Yeah.
Like the fuses, they used to be $3 a piece. They're now $24 for 2 of them.
Holy shit.
I mean, circuit breaker and everything's gigantically inflated.
So where do you think happens to like, private contractors and stuff for electricians?
They have to pass it along. That's all. It's almost embarrassing sometimes to tell them how much the material is.
Yeah.
Sure.
You actually feel guilty. I said, but if you can look it up at Depot, you'll see that's what it costs.
Now, is that good for contractors that the prices are up? Because then you can charge your people or no?
No,
Okay.
it's a shame because you got to charge them more money, and
Yeah.
it's you're giving them a high estimate rather than being within reason. The material is unbelievable, tripled. I mean, oil filter for my truck. If I get to buy a Motorcraft oil filter,
Yeah.
$3.99 at Walmart. Okay.
Yeah.
Within the last 3 years, it's up to $12.
Wow.
The same oil filter, same brand, same model. So everything's way off.
Gee,
right
that's
now.
what I mean. It's always. I always wonder about like people in your line of work. How often are you getting relatives calling you out, like, "Hey, can you stop by? We got this thing that shit out for today." Or how often is that happening? And are you kind of over it at this point, or what's
I don't
that?
have any relatives left.
No,
Well, like a
sorry
friend
to
or
hear.
something. Well, sorry to hear about that. Big ups to the homies, but like, you have a friend or something that ever kind of hits you up and says,
I
"Oh,
have friends most of the stuff I do is for my friends and my enemies and all that.
the enemies, huh?"
Dude, I love that.
People that my friends and people call me back. Their brothers, their neighbors, and all that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll let you get back to Missy, but what's one car you're looking at today?
Let me see. I'm looking for a 1970 Buick GS or 72 GS
All right.
455.
Okay.
And you just don't see them.
Yeah.
They're not around.
Well,
I
keep
hope
an
you
eye
do.
out. There's somebody
I'm
who's got
looking for
a
one.
yeah.
If you happen to see one, let me know.
We'll
Or
flag you down.
Let Missy know. Okay?
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, man.
All right.
Really
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
that.
To you.
No,
Thank
great
you very
talking to
much.
you.
That was great. Thank you so much. That was electric.
Boogie woogie woogie.
Hello, folks.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, man. I'm too nice.
That
with
was
the
almost as
puns.
good as the Colorado water basin joke that I still laughed at as I was editing the podcast.
That's what I do,
can't
dude.
believe she didn't laugh at that last episode.
I think she was terrified the entire time. I watched that back too, and I thought that we were lauding over
What's
her.
up, Bren?
What's up, young man?
Get on here. Come
Oh,
on
here
this
we
side
go.
so I don't have to look into the fucking. I knuckles, dude, because I'm the clammiest fucking boy.
There you go.
This side of Haddonfield.
This is good. This is the below 6 foot side, so we'll get you.
No, this is the Kyle doesn't have to strain his eyes while a guy is literally standing next to him who's 6'7", and he's like,
Yeah, he was giving us the business.
So
Where's Prada?
what?
Dude, I'll put my hands on you if I have to.
Dude, Brendan, introduce yourself, dude. This is comedian Brendan. I'm not even gonna try your last name.
Donegan.
Donegan.
You
I
got
should have known that. Good Irish Catholic boy.
That's right.
Philadelphia's own. Finished what? Second in Philly's Funniest last year?
No, I was probably somewhere around 4. I was probably
Finished second in Philly's Funniest last year?
I had heard rumors of 4th,
Okay.
but we don't really know.
Yeah, I just wanted to legitimize yourself to the fans that this guy's funny.
I appreciate the attempt.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was up there in the finals past couple of years.
Congrats.
Yeah, man. We have a
They
nice
still
guy.
hang the banner for Final Fours.
They still do. They still let them know, man. You're in the top 4. You're a 1,000-point scorer of being in Philly's Funniest.
That's
Congrats.
true, dude. Out of like 300 fucking losers,
Well, I mean, I imagine there's some people who didn't make it who deserved it. Were pretty talented, but you know, what can you do?
Fucking
I
losers.
can't even remember who they were though.
Nah, I can't either.
No, well, you know, just they're good guys.
They're
Good
probably doing
Christians.
podcasts at a car show in
Some
Haddonfield right
bullshit
now.
pod.
Fucking
yeah.
blazing sun. Dude, this looks pretty sweet. I tried to park my Corolla in here. They said, "Sir, you need to have hubcaps to park." And I go,
They didn't let the donuts in.
"No, yeah, I got 4 donuts, 200,000 miles on that puppy, and it's still kicking though."
Yeah,
but
I
those
mean-
things last forever.
It's what they say, Japanese car, unless somebody nukes it.
Don't touch me.
I know that one. That was good. That was good.
Just date.
I
No.
can appreciate that stuff.
I'll tell you what,
on.
speaking of a car show, Brendan and I have driven to some gigs together, and driving in that car, boy, do you think it's going to explode or implode at any moment the entire drive.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a dangerous vehicle, but when you're a bad boy like myself, you know, and you're not driving, what is it, a Ford chick Bronco? that you got?
Yeah, look, some people's
color?
girlfriends.
It's the girl sport mode,
Yeah.
whatever that is.
It's like a baby blue.
baby blue sport Bronco.
But it's good to have somebody as similar to myself who moonlights as a comedian. What do we do for a living here, Brendo?
What do we do? Can we speak on it?
What do you do?
I'm a stripper.
Yeah.
Government, is that what you're asking? Or
Yeah,
like
we talk about
comedy-wise?
jobs here, dude.
Yeah, government.
We want to hear about the day job a little bit.
Yeah, government.
Stripper.
Government stripper.
Dude, the pension must be
A lot of
awesome.
red tape, a lot of red penises that
Yeah.
you got to get through. But yeah, no, government job, boring. Like I couldn't even tell you what I do.
Yeah.
You know, if you ask me like for a description, it's just like a boring desk job.
Are you sure you guys aren't just like CIA operatives from another country? Like that's like, oh, 2 guys who work for the government who are both moonlighting as comedians and
Yeah.
stuff. Like it's kind of like that's like
Yeah, but they'd probably
I mean,
want
yeah.
somebody to be moonlighting as more successful.
yeah. No.
we need to
feel like-
break in this open mic circuit and go, we got the guys, dude.
They just found like you hear about those 8 people that they found in L.A., New York, and Philadelphia
yeah.
who had attachments to ISIS. Like I'm
Yeah.
just literally looking at the next
Really?
2 guys
Yeah.
they're gonna get.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah,
don't forget,
written
it's like
all
He was
over
just doing open mics at a tap house.
yeah, now we're opening
Yeah.
something else
Like,
up
what
here,
a
dude.
what a cover.
Well, if you are going to recruit anybody to get into ISIS, a local open mic would probably be the hot spot.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you could talk those guys into anything.
For just what, like 5 minutes of stage time, or just
Yeah, exactly. Or it's just like the amount of like dumb people who kind of try comedy. It's like that group of creatures in there is probably your best bet of like recruiting some terrorists.
Yeah, I mean, that really is like a good point. It's like the disenfranchised either join 4chan or they go to an open mic.
Right.
So if you're trying to take advantage of guys who are like, well, the world's always done me wrong. Unfortunately, it probably is.
Exactly. Some
Some
guy who
comics.
just wants his voice heard, who's like they don't know about all these ideas that I have. and-
Yeah, they're going to learn one day, dude.
Exactly.
kill that spider.
Holy hell.
Oh, my Lanta. Careful, he's got
God.
diabetes, dude.
That almost went directly into my mouth, dude. I would have been so
It
pissed.
literally is sitting right there.
But just the way that you aimed it, we're like, hang on a second. Don't flinch and don't move. This is for the podcast and content. I was like, are you about to flick this directly into my nostril?
I just met you for the first time.
Oh my God.
Flicking poisonous, venomous spiders at you. What kind of person do you
I
think
would have
Matt
just
would be a
taken it
co-host
too.
with?
I would have just been like,
bent that
it's his
shit like
podcast,
Beckham.
dude.
I saw that happen. I was like, no way. He's flicking it right out.
Dude, I bent that shit like Beckham.
I am so scared of spiders. You have no
Are
idea.
you really?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
We got to keep you on edge, dude.
Holy
I know.
shit.
Well, this is kind of an interesting thing to bring it back to what we do for a living. Being a comedian at night, do you notice how often you're getting asked about being a comic at work?
So, as you know, I transferred to a new department and nobody knows yet. Every job they eventually find out. I've been holding it down tight until this fucking podcast comes out, but no one's found out yet, and I haven't had. It's been amazing, dude. But you do feel like you're just always living a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
I blocked everybody at Comcast.
Did you
Everybody.
really?
I blocked them all, except for my buddy who knew I didn't care. Like, who was like my best friend on the team.
Yeah.
Who still is my best friend.
Because you didn't want them to know, or was it? Was it?
I
so
just
you
didn't want
blocked
to, I didn't
them-
want to have to answer questions.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't want to like go out and I saw what you did, or like people are whispering about like, Kyle's out there interviewing people on the street. He doesn't really give a fuck about his job. And
Exactly.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Right.
But they have to know, like, especially nowadays, like it's like nobody likes working for the government. Nobody likes working for the man. Nobody likes working for a boss. So like everybody's just quiet quitting.
Yeah, it really is a lot of
Yeah.
like, people all understand. That's the weirdest thing about working at like a desk job is we all have this understanding, and it comes in even like the vernacular and the anecdotes that everybody uses, like, almost the end of the week. Thank God we're getting out of here. But you can't openly be like, this place fucking sucks. I hate every second that I'm here.
But jobs are also quiet firing all the time.
True.
Like, my fiance is going through like her third round of layoffs in like 6 months.
oh my
Yeah.
God.
Like, how about we just like, not?
yeah.
Dude, somebody was just telling me about this. Stop me if you know who it is. But they were talking about how they got laid off, and at the end they played like they had like some like song that they played them out, and they're like, all right, and they played them out on this like happy. They announced like 3,000 layoffs, and then they were like, to make you guys feel better, we had this like. I don't know if it was like a band or something, but they like played them out with like some happy
my
music, and they're like, goodbye. Can you imagine?
So the people got fired,
Yeah.
and their way to think that they would make them feel better is to play them off with like a the roll the credits.
And it's
type
like,
of
how
thing.
much money did you spend on that entertainment? You're like, you just laid off 3,000.
Is this going into
people.
is this cutting into my severance?
Yeah, those,
Yeah,
were
exactly.
our wages for the past 3
Right.
months. Well, you used to work in sales, right? You
Yeah,
were a
I
salesman?
did recruiting for like 6 years, which is essentially sales. And God, I was just not. I hated it. Did not enjoy it. Was not built for it because
Yeah.
I'm just not a liar, dude. And you just have to like. You have to like whenever there was something that I believed in, I could sell it good, but I didn't believe in anything ever.
Yeah.
So like, Brendan, you got to just sell it with conviction. I'm like, but what if I believe this is all bullshit?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, it's not the point. Dude.
Yeah.
You got to just sell. And I just, God, I hated it.
What were you recruiting?
IT people.
We had the same job coming out of college.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing.
Tech systems.
Okay, I
'Cause
was.
we used
That's
to work
actually
with
huge.
Comcast all the time.
That's a huge one.
Yeah.
I was some small one in Mount Laurel called Patriot Consulting. That's not around anymore. But we were selling IT guys for
Yeah.
SAP and Oracle implementations.
Yep. Yeah.
And I would call. I would smile and dial
Yeah.
every single day, and it was the worst. It was the worst day of my life.
Yeah.
Oh my
every time I
God.
walked
That's
in.
what I did for
Sounds
like
brutal.
For
6 years.
So you
Yeah.
actually had to be pretty good at it. I only lasted a year.
It was yeah, I did okay, but yeah, I just absolutely hated it, dude. And you grind, and like the office that I worked in was in Radnor, Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
So, and I was living in South Jersey like right after I graduated college because I had so many fucking student loans. I'm like, I'm never going to be able to move out on my own.
Mhm.
So I had to drive from South Jersey. It's like an hour plus, on the Schuylkill every single day, one way. You get there, you got to get in by like 8. So I got to leave my house by 6:30. You do that all day. You get home, it's like 7:30 p.m. You have no time to work out. I wasn't doing comedy at the time. I had nothing. I hated my life, dude.
Yeah.
It was brutal. And then I just like slowly crawled my way out of it,
They really had to get out.
Did they do the bullpen stuff?
Yeah. We would have a red zone, what we called our morning meeting every single morning. That you would have to like stand, and we had a big office. It was like 50 people in there, and you'd have to stand up and like kind of like go over the business that you're working on in front of everybody. And I would always get shit on, dude, like because they would like, hey, I couldn't lie. They'd be like, did you do the references on that person? I'd be like, I did one. The other one didn't pick up, and they would just like absolutely torture you in front of the entire office.
They would actually like talk shit and like hand it to you, or what would
They
they
would
say?
just not. They would be like, now walk me through the thought process of why you would think
Walk
that.
me through.
And I'd be like, look, you got me, dude. I didn't do it.
Yeah, dude. And they would have a
Can
board.
we take this offline?
They have we would have pinned in this. I really liked the people who were there. I wasn't Texas's material. I did interview for them, and they didn't give me the job.
Look at you now, though. It all worked out.
Yeah.
Look how tall you are, dude.
There you go. Wow. I could have got this tall without the job.
How much you're making and how tall you are on the
Yeah.
board every morning is pretty
Yeah.
funny.
But it's insane. I mean, people stealing clients from each other, people
Yeah.
stealing work from each other. Like, it's insane. It's actually like Surprised there's never been like a movie about it. Like someone's never made a movie about it.
I know it really could be a sitcom of or like a reality show. If they did a reality show of a recruiting firm, dude, it would be incredible. Because also you're young. It's like they hire mostly people out of college, so it's young people in their 20s. It's where I met my wife, and everyone just winds up banging. And they're like, the one rule is like you do not hook up with the people that you work with. And
do they really say that?
And then they take you out to a happy hour and get you like hammered. Yeah. After you've been working like a 12-hour day, like 6 p.m., provide no food, and you'd be like, I'm gonna hook up with this chick, and I'm gonna drive home from Radnor to South Jersey hammered, dude. Do you remember you would call people? So they did this at our job where they would, we'd have like a database where you could find people's phone numbers. They would really try to harp on us to call them at work, and this is their thought process. They go, well, like, where else are they going to be if they're not picking up their cell phone? You get their desk line. You'd have to call in to like the secretary and go, hey, can I ask for you? Like trick them, and they'd be like, who is this? And I go, it's a personal call. Like that. This is what they would teach us, dude. And then you'd sneak your way into like find their desk line. They'd be like, who the fuck is this? I'm like, this is Brendan Donegan from Texas, and they're like, don't ever call me here again, dude.
Dude, for making like $17 an hour, those women were the most powerful people at those companies.
There would be so many times I'd be on the line with somebody, and like you catch people at work, they're busy and they're so annoyed, and I would almost like be on the other line wanting to whisper to them and be like, dude, I don't want to be doing this. It's just my job.
Still in the voice.
So I couldn't. So
I'm like, dude, brother, I hear you, but they're watching me, and I gotta make calls. I also can't imagine like being a lifer at one of those jobs where you get to like your 40s, you have kids and stuff, and you still are coming in every day like, let's fucking sell.
Yeah.
I remember like the best year that I had, I was like doing pretty well. I hit like our contest for that year. And I remember thinking like, I worked so hard to get to that point. It was like, you're working, it's your entire life. You're working crazy hours, insane. And then looking back, I look at the numbers. It's like, I think I made like $75,000. It's like, I like literally threw my life on the line. And then you go to another job and it's like your starting base salary or something.
Oh my god, that's funny. Yeah, I could afford like an okay 1-bedroom. This is pretty sick, man.
Like, you got to earn it, dude. We're not going to just give you, a lot of those companies, they're like, we're not going to just give you a base salary and benefits. It's like, if you come in here and you prove to us that you're not a fucking loser, dude, then sure, we'll toss you some benefits and maybe some dental. But otherwise, let's see how this thing goes.
With how gung-ho they are at sales jobs, and I guess you guys both had to have seen this, if you're like taking a couple days off in the summertime, what do they look at you like? Do they look like...
They treat you like absolute...
There's no work from home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was like when I worked there was pre-COVID, so it was like working from home. They were like, what are you... Like,
what are you, a gay guy?
Yeah, exactly. If you took a vacation for more than 3 days, they would be like, oh, look at this young buck thinking he's just traveling the world. I'm like, I was in Wildwood for 2 days, dude. I'm like, I just need a breather.
Yeah.
There was no lifestyle balance.
If you took a mental health day, they were like, you are the biggest pussy I've ever met.
To be fair, if you ever text me that you were taking a mental health day, I'd come to your house and give you a noogie immediately. I could never let that happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it.
I got fired on the same day that my student loans kicked in.
Oh my
you know how they had like 3 to 4 month grace period, I think it is. I remember getting the text from my mom as I'm sitting in the car after I got fired, because I always fire you at like Fridays around like 9 a.m. That was when they did their big firings and stuff.
What a horrible time before the weekend too.
It was paydays at least.
Hey, think about this for the long weekend.
Couldn't it have been Thursday, so I could have maybe had 3-day weekend.
Maybe Monday, so you didn't have to work out the entire week.
That's true. Like, if I would have sold something, would this have changed? Like, I feel like no. But yeah, so I remember going home and I cried in my apartment.
You cried?
I cried in my apartment in my kitchen.
Now, I always
being
like
fired
to hear...
has got to be a jolting experience where you're just like, even if though you hated the job was probably the best thing for you, you're still just like, I can't believe I got fired.
Yeah.
You know?
It is funny. Like, it is hilarious. Like, you suck. Like, that's like them just saying that, like, you are not
you're not good enough.
Yeah. It's like getting broken up with and having your replacement, like, clearly better than you are right in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you cried, and I always like to find out how men cry.
You do, like, you always do analyze how people cry.
Were you standing, sitting?
Standing.
It was a standing cry. That's respectable. A standing cry is good.
Yeah, get some exercise
I remember
in.
looking at my bank account. I remember looking at my bank account, and I think my rent at the time was $750, and I had $768 in my bank account, and I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to live.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's got to be the firing and knowing you have bills seems like that amount of stress would shut me down.
When I graduated from college, I remember my Sallie Mae loans alone, and that's not the only loans that I had. And by the way, I went to school for a communication degree.
Yeah.
My Sallie Mae
But
loans.
you weren't a D1 Kentucky basketball player?
No, I mean, I tried to walk on.
Just wanted to ask.
I tried to walk on. They go, we haven't had a guy 5'7" since Muggsy Bogues.
Yeah, it's a basketball team. They wanted you to moonwalk on.
My Sallie Mae loans were like $1,000, and I'm like making, I think I started out making $34,000, like when you start at that job.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna be in the just from student loans. And I was living at home with my parents at the time. I'm like, I'm in the hole like so much without even paying anything else.
I don't even have a life yet, and I'm already in debt. How does that happen?
I remember I would just stare at a spreadsheet of my student loans every day, and I'd be like, how can I figure out a way? Every day I'd go into the office, I'd fucking fire up the computer, I'd pull up the spreadsheet, and I would go, if I could just think of an idea to somehow get rid of these loans. Like, I genuinely would be like, maybe it's an app. Maybe I can think of a cool app, and then I'll hit it bit. Like, because otherwise I'm like, there's no solution to get rid of this. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Being so screwed that you become entrepreneurial is the new American dream. Actually, yeah.
Did you ever find yourself becoming that guy you hated?
Yeah, I think you definitely get caught up in it. Like, once you start to see a little bit of success there, then all of a sudden it's like when you hit a shot in pool and all of a sudden you start circling the table and you're like, you're like walking around the office, like
You start drinking the beer by whipping it back in your mouth, kind of thing. Yeah.
there's definitely like some you start drinking the Kool-Aid after a while, and then when you see like other people get successful, because that's the thing, it's like it's such a horrible job for so long, but like if you do well, there are people that make insane money that you look at them and you're like, damn, dude, like that would be really nice.
Yeah.
But then you look at eventually you realize like the cost of what it takes to get there, and you're like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But you get caught up in that, chasing that for a while, thinking like, dude, like that's what I got to do. I got to make as much money as possible and just forget happiness.
I mean, I would be calling people in like fucking Texas at like 10 o'clock at night being like, are you going to show up to your job tomorrow?
Yeah, and they
wouldn't show up. And like, I'm making like a $15-20 spread on this thing.
Yeah.
This is like, that's like $3,000.
Yeah.
Dude, or they would take like a nice contract, and then they would be like, look, I'm going to leave for this other job, and you'd be trying to talk them off a ledge.
Yeah.
Like, look, watch me. What is the big deal of a job that's going to offer you $250,000? You're going to want to stay on this 3-month contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing I heard at Ron's side. They told you that a lot of your job was just calling people and being like, please, for the love of God, go to work. Just go to the factory job.
And like anything could happen in the business of people. Like, it's people's lives. So like my wife, for example, she had a guy that she hired 3 times, and she kept going to bat for him. He fell asleep on the job 3 separate times and kept getting fired. And she was like, look, dude, at this point, you're making me look real stupid.
He was a real sleeper pick. Yeah.
It's a dirty business, man. It's a dirty fucking business.
I still remember the number, like when you would hit our contest, which is what you were like striving for, your sales goal for the year, you were making. So like I said, when I hit that, I think it was probably like $75,000. What you make the company was, in the course of that year, give it a ballpark number. What do you think?
$2 million.
It's a good guess. No, you
Strong guess.
$624,000.
Oh my God, dude.
You're like, hey, we're gonna cut you a piece of the pie, and we're gonna give you a nice 75 piece. You're like, are you kidding me? I made you $500,000, dude. Over $500,000.
It's so gross, man. The whole thing, and you just get suckered into it because you get to wear a button down for the first time, and you get to go to a happy hour in front of girls and be like, I do actually have a real job.
Yeah, right. I'd be also. I look young now. Imagine me at 24, like meeting with actual business professionals. Be like, here's the thing you need to know about the industry, guy. And he's like, dude, how you're in your dad's suit right now? I'm like, that's not important.
I can picture that. You going up to a girl, tugging on the bottom of her skirt, being like, hello.
I was literally like swimming in my suit, dude. Like, how's it going? Like handing out business cards, dude.
Yeah, the cufflinks hang over midway through your palm. I know that.
It is such like it's the total fake it till you make it situation.
Yeah,
like you're just lying through your teeth.
Dude, I haven't talked about that in like 6 years.
Yeah,
I felt like some demons came out right there.
9 years, honestly.
Yeah,
it's traumatizing.
It sucked.
Yeah,
it's the worst day of my fucking life. When you actually get legit Sunday scares, and I don't know if you guys get Sunday scares. I haven't had Sunday scares, not to brag, in about like 6 years.
Yeah. So this is your full-time gig, right?
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
dude.
it's sick.
But that's what's like, you take all those shitty jobs over the years, and that like just teaches you. I think the most important thing is like what you don't want to do, and then you can slowly figure out like what you like and be like, let me try to figure out a way to do that. Which for me is stand up. You know.
Anything you want to plug before? Anything you want to throw out for?
No.
Something coming up?
Let me see.
And
South
make it tasteful.
South Jersey Bad Boys podcast. Check that out. And got a website coming in, dude.
Whoa.
It's super professional. Brendan Donegan comedy for my dates, dude. Just check it the fuck out.
Check him out,
With an
man.
S.
Yeah, dude.
Love that,
Multiple.
man. Congrats,
Thank
dude.
you.
As
Yeah.
much as it hurts me to say, Brendan, one of the best comics in the area. So check out the boy
As
out.
much as it
dude.
hurts me to
Fellas,
say.
It kills me.
Dude,
Let me-
it looks like you're back in the fucking bullpen right now.
That's right, dude.
Yeah,
Let me
well, it's
toss
only because he
this-
lets me open for him at places. So I have to say it.
Fucking Troy
Yeah,
over here is
I
just
was-
telling you about your work. You cross-reference that?
Yeah. Like, you want me to? You want to come to a casino and open for me for $50 for 7 people? Matt's like, let's do this thing.
And we had fun, didn't we? Dude?
In the Corolla?
In the Corolla.
in the
I was so
Corolla.
scared, dude.
Yep. Had to share a bed in a casino.
that
was a separate
multiple
time.
times.
Love it.
All right,
I
guys.
didn't know you were sharing beds at a casino. I got you your own fucking room, you asshole.
Yeah, that was your bad. I didn't mention it.
Yeah, dude, he'll sleep with you, dude. It's great, dude. Just know that for the future.
Awesome.
Whatever it
Brandon,
takes.
thank you so much,
Thank
man.
you, guys.
All right, brother.
All right, folks. If you'd like to sit down after you're done showing your car,
Yeah, come take a seat, man.
Come take
We'd
a seat.
love to talk to you.
what's your name?
My name is Jared.
Jared.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure,
and
pleasure,
you're
guys.
here at the car show. That is an Alfa Romeo.
Alfa Romeo 4C Spider.
Wow.
2018.
Pretty sick.
They made the Spider from 2016 to 2020. Of course, they had it already earlier overseas, but we got them in
Nice.
we got them in 2016.
I remember a Spider. I was trying to win it for. Remember when McDonald's used to do the Monopoly?
Yes,
They
yes,
did a
yes.
Spider one year, and I remember it was a yellow Spider. I was 10 years old, and I really wanted it.
Oh, wow.
I didn't win.
Like the old Happy Meals and stuff.
Yeah, the old
I
the
miss
old
those.
stickers.
Those
I
were
miss
the
those.
days, man. Those were the days. So when'd you pick this thing up? How long have you had it?
I actually had this literally just less than a year. I got it 4th of July last year, and I've been loving it ever since. I can't believe it's already been almost a year.
Yeah.
And it was a hell of a hassle getting that car because there's a story that goes with it.
Let's hear. We'd love to hear how you picked
There
it
were
up.
only 2 available at the time. This one had the least amount of miles, so that's the one that sparked my attention. I wanted to get the lowest miles possible, so this one had it, and it was in the middle of no name city in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was called LaSalle, or I'm gonna have to get that corrected because again, I forgot
Okay,
the city
yeah,
or where
yeah.
I bought my car.
Sure.
But they didn't actually believe I was legit because I called in and I said, "Oh, I wanted to, make a purchase, over the phone," but they don't. It doesn't resonate well with them because they've had fraud in the past. So, to
So
make the
calling
process-
over the phone,
Yeah,
incites
phone.
fraud.
they think it was fraud because
What
the
are they,
East
a bunch
Coast
of-
is a normal thing to us.
Bunch of fucking Gen Zers running this
Yeah.
company or something. Oh my god, he called me. It's fraud.
Well, to be fair, I mean, how were you selling over the phone? You might have sounded a little fraudulent. Were you
Yeah.
very?
I mean,
were you
just-
forthright?
can you just
I was
text me?
basically just I was probably aggressive because I literally was just trying to get it before another one was taken off the market because they were just hard to get last year.
And now, are they auctioning? Are you like going in the
no,
prices
this
going?
was-
It's a set
It
price.
was just it was a set price. It was a decent price for the miles, and it looked like to be in great condition from the photos that they had.
Mm-hmm.
I even had a third-party company, go out and check it out for me, so I didn't have to make the trip that I ended up making anyway.
Okay.
So funny thing, I went in the first time, like on a Monday, to go to LaSalle, whatever, Wisconsin, and my flight canceled. And you had to take 2 flights. You had to connect to Chicago to go get there. So I wasn't able to do it that day. So that already sparked,
Yeah, of course.
Oh, so I'm like, is he really coming? Like, yes, I am actually.
I'm starting to get on their side now,
Right,
dude.
right.
It might have been, yeah.
You should have Snapchatted him. So what do you do for a living that affords you a beautiful piece of work like this?
I am actually an owner of a photography company.
Wow.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
we do weddings, events, and during the week we do architecture, real estate, things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, are you a photographer yourself?
I am also a photographer, master photographer, and owner.
A master photographer.
Master
So what's the difference
photographer.
between your run-of-the-mill guy we got back here, a master photographer? Not to say that he's not, of course, our boy
Meaning-
Vito.
It's a fancy term of saying that I could basically photograph anything. Not saying like that, like I'm the best photographer.
Sure.
But there's nothing that we do not do.
So you can just call yourself a master of photography? Or is it because you
It's
graduated?
bougie, but yes, I like it.
I'm literally, I'm trying to like. so,
Yeah,
like,
it's a good question.
I mean, I guess like obviously all photographers it's like, hey, I do family portraits, I do weddings, and it's like if I graduate from those, then I guess you could be a master photographer. And you said you did architecture, so
Yes. So it's rare to find a photographer that covers all those fields.
Got it.
So I like to call myself the master photographer.
So we try to always ask, at least once an episode, we ask what we call a thoughtful dumb guy question. Now, I don't mean this in any way to sound mean.
No.
From my perspective of photography, it's did you take a picture of something cool or not? I don't understand the art behind it.
Now people make money on it and stuff. Like, I just like
I could take the picture. In my head, I'm like, I could take a picture, but I'm sure there's a lot more behind it. Give us, like, if you're explaining to a dumb person like us, what goes into that.
It gets crazy, with lighting and, even with photographers who know it, even better than me, because obviously, with photography, you just keep learning and learning, and lighting is a major part of it. If it's not like 90% of it.
How's this light right now?
Yeah,
this light is great, but some photographers would be like, oh, it could be a little bit lower, it could be a little bit less contrast, things like that, or whatever they're gonna fix and post editing. But there's like a perfect situation or a perfect scenario that these photographers really get to make every picture, that one picture that you're looking at, just make it look a million times better.
Like, it's finding the perfect time even more so than finding an angle or something like that?
Exactly. Finding the time, finding the sunlight, finding just the even amount of shade that you can get. Just whatever resources you can use to perfect that photo.
Now this might sound a little mean. When you're taking pictures and you're behind the camera, you're looking at this person and it's their big day, are you ever kind of looking and being like, they might just be ugly, they're not going to like how these look? and you can be totally honest, you don't have to name names.
I'm not gonna lie.
At least once or twice you might be like,
I'm not gonna lie, there have been rooms where the light, like I said about the lighting, we're going back to that. There have been rooms where scenarios where their venue just did not have the adequate lighting that I was expecting. And a lot of the venues we've been to, but there's always some that catch us by surprise, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
But how ugly they are?
No.
That kid is
ugly.
Holy
The venue
macaroni.
themselves do not look that good, and then I get crappier photos.
Yeah.
Or I'm worried about it because I think I'm getting crappy photos, but we managed to fix it and make it look better.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be shooting in a perfect setting every single time, so those issues do come.
You've never met an ugly person in your life. I like that.
Yeah.
As long as
You're
you've
good,
been
man. You're good at spinning it. I like it. You're good. You
really
can tell
good.
you own a business.
Beautiful.
You can spin a story. I like it.
Why do the family portraits always have people wearing white? I'm just looking at. I'm just thinking of my.
A lot of them.
My
are
cousins, they get like a beach photo every 5 or 6 years, and it's just they're all in just white linens.
White linen button downs, every time.
I think a lot of people like that white, breezy, or airy look. That's what's in. And a lot of it is done at the shore, at the beach.
Yeah.
And they just believe that blends well. And it does. It looks like a nice, comfortable time when you're getting those photos. You look really beachy and things like that. So I think it's just like it's that airy, light look.
Well, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you
Yeah, this
joining.
was great, man.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Photographer industry. Learned what
Thank
a master
you.
Thank you so
photographer
much.
is too.
You did.
Oh, you want to shout out the business real quick before you hop off? Just,
Yeah. Once again, I am Jarrett Muzo of Jarrett Muzo Photography. That is, you can find us on Google, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Just jarrettmuseau.com. GarrettMuseau.com.
I'm glad you said G. I didn't think it was.
I would've
gonna
never known,
Everybody
yeah.
thinks it's a J.
That's a mix-up.
There you go. And thank you.
You want to come on?
No, I just want to see your website.
Oh yeah.
I do the same thing.
Oh yeah. It's a Zoom PodTrack P4.
Okay.
Yeah, we like it.
What's your podcast called?
So we called Men at Work. We just go around talking to people what they do for a living.
That's a good idea.
Thank you.
Why don't you come down, sit for a little bit, talk?
retired.
What did you
What'd
do?
you do for a living?
I work for AT&T. That was a boring company.
That's
Were
exciting.
you,
I'd like to talk. I have AT&T. I got some questions myself.
Different AT&T.
I know AT&T's got a lot of. They got a lot of.
There we go.
There
We're
we
talking,
go.
man.
There we
We
go.
suckered them in.
Yes, you did.
So what's your name?
Rich.
Rich.
Soper. Yep.
I'm Kyle. This is Matt.
Matt, good to meet you.
Great to meet you. And what you retired?
Yes.
A little behind baseball. We did already talk to Rich a little bit, but you used to work at AT&T.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
The original AT&T.
Now that's the thing. Like AT&T, when I first got into the corporate America world, I didn't understand. I thought they were a cell phone company, but they've been.
No, when I started
million
out
different
in
things.
'74, I used to work on Telegraph.
What was that? What's Telegraph?
Telegraph. Dot dash. Dot dash.
You're talking to guys who
Yeah,
have
we're,
never even seen a typewriter.
It was. Oh God. That was.
1993 and
96.
96.
Yeah.
You were born in 1993, 96.
As far as I know, yeah.
Telegraph is
Yeah.
what they used in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and it was left over when I started.
Got it.
So a high-speed circuit would have been like 56K, so it could operate a computer, and your iPhone is much more powerful than 56K. And it was a lot of voice circuits, private line voice circuits for corporations like Cigna, Disney.
So what do you mean by private line?
Yeah.
They had their, instead of picking up the phone and making a phone call, they had their own private network throughout the United States and the world.
So where did your job kind of morph into after Telegraph?
Okay, so the company split up in 1985, before you were born.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
of course.
It was the Judge Green decision, right? You don't know that.
No, it was an antitrust
So
monopoly.
AT&T used to be the long distance company in the United States of America, and they called her Ma Bell, and she used to own all the local Bell telephone companies. Bell of New Jersey, C&P Bell, Pacific Bell, all of them. And MCI was a long distance company competing against AT&T for long distance. The government got involved, and they made AT&T break away from the local phone companies, spun them off, so MCI could compete loyally, equally, with the rest of the United States. MCI got eventually purchased,
Yeah.
I think, by Verizon. I'm not sure. AT&T could not really function as a long distance company, and eventually Southwest and Bell purchased them back in 2000, I guess it was, something like that.
So why is it still called AT&T then if they got purchased?
Well, AT&T was the name.
The brand was just
the
so
brand
strong.
was so strong, you know, and the stock market is labeled T.
Mhm.
So, and a lot of things went, I think, apparently wrong with AT&T. They started outsourcing their work to different countries.
Yeah.
I used to travel to the Philippines
Oh yeah.
and work there, and they were laying off people in the United States of America. So it is a different phone company than it was
When you worked there.
when I worked there. Absolutely.
Were you always there?
I was there for 40 years, yeah.
Wow.
Is that so? It's so crazy because, like, you know, our generation. I haven't been at a job for more than 3 years, I think.
Yeah.
You were there for 40 years. That's insane.
40 years. It is insane.
So you were in Philippines a lot. Was that you're just sitting there and you're working at the job, or do you have free time to explore the area? What's that look like?
Well, first time over there was a shock because you land after 15, 16 hours of flight time, and you're greeted by police officers with MK-45s at the airport. A lot of security at the airports, and you land at like 10 o'clock at night, and they put you in a limousine, which is the size of some small little Toyota.
Yeah.
And you're going through streets that are very poor. People living on the streets. All of a sudden you arrive, they will put us into a 5-star hotel.
Jeez.
And you had to go through 3 security checks to get into the hotel with dogs, mirrors, and all that, and the bombs, and they would check. Then you go into the hotel, and it was like nirvana. It was absolutely beautiful. Then you would go to work the next day. And we went to work at 6 o'clock at night, I guess, because we were supporting the United States, which was 12 hours behind. Yeah. And we were training Filipinos how to write orders for AT&T.
So I got to ask, though, were you training people who were going to take your job one day?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Wow.
See, that's why, like, I feel like people our age hate corporations because, like, that just feels dirty.
Right.
It was.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, you look at the skyline in downtown Manila, and it was Comcast and Verizon over there and insurance companies, and it's rotten. But
So
yes.
you knew, and while you were training, you knew, like, all right, I'm just setting this up for them to start outsourcing. That was something you were aware of, even in the moment.
It was basically save your ass, so do what you had to do.
Yeah. Sure.
So I'm sorry I cursed on your...
No, we curse all the time.
we curse all
Yeah.
the time.
Let it rip.
Okay. Yep. So it was, yeah, that's exactly what it was. And then
Wow.
eventually, the Filipinos corporation got too expensive, and they outsourced it to a company up in Bratislava or someplace like
even
that. And by
poorer
that
company.
time, I was out of there.
Jesus.
Somewhere with the tax break and a poor it's crazy. It's insane to hear. Wow.
So I do a podcast too.
Go, shut it out.
I give you, it's the Sal and Rich Show, wherever you are.
Sound Rich Show?
Yeah. A guy I met from high school.
Love it.
We got together after 52 years.
Yeah.
We started chatting away, and we said, let's start a podcast. He used to be on the radio down in Vineland 50
sweet.
years ago, I guess. And it's been like you guys.
Yeah.
We're having a good time with
This
it.
is Sound Rich, just like 30 years
This is young
earlier.
Sound Rich, yeah. We're still
I
hitting
would-
the telegraphs, all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
How old
of
are
course. I'm 28.
Okay, so it's not 30 years younger. It's like 50.
We're getting the benefit of the doubt. We're getting the benefit of the doubt.
You're a young guy. AT&T didn't age you a year, of course.
Nah.
Yeah.
No, not at all. That's
not
why
at
I
all.
got the bald spot in
Yeah,
the back
there's
of my head.
16-hour flights. Then
Yeah.
you know, there's 3 checkpoints of security. Didn't age you at all.
And it wasn't even first class. So we had,
what?
no, it wasn't.
Jesus Christ.
So we've had people on our show from our class. Did you ever hear of Tommy McCarthy?
I mean, there's like 17 I've ever met.
one of my uncles.
WOGL Radio in
I know
Philadelphia.
WOGO, yeah.
He was a music director
Oh,
for
sweet.
26 years.
No kidding.
Like he knew a lot of the old guys, Hylet, Jerry Blavitt, and people
Yeah,
like
Jerry,
that. Yeah. We've had some book writers on our show.
Sweet.
And we reach out and we get some different people.
You enjoying it?
It's a hobby that's turned into a job.
It's fun.
That's what it is. It always becomes a hobby, then it's a job. Yeah.
I mean, you talk.
My wife's waiting for me. No.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you talk, every day of your life. Sometimes it's just, put it on a recorder.
Yeah, might as well.
Put
There
it
you
on
go.
camera.
Well, I'll be looking for this.
Thank you. Yeah,
please,
he'll have all the,
absolutely.
he'll have
This
all
is
the
very- this is a lot
places
of
to get
fun.
it and everything.
Okay, nice meeting you guys.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate
Take it easy.
Take it
and
easy.
Maybe we'll contact you, have you on our show.
Sure.
Would love it.
We're
Okay.
around.
Hey, do you guys work for a living? We're just looking for. We do a podcast where we ask people what they do for a living. We're just trying to do one more before we get out of here.
Mine's like not that interesting.
What do you do for a
No,
living?
it's interesting. We love to hear.
I'm in sales.
there
I'm
we
an
go.
Account executive.
There you go. Sales for what?
An international freight forwarder and domestic trucking company.
That's
Whoa.
actually something I don't know anything about, so I'm actually
Oh,
interested
interesting.
in. Can you name the company or name the freight or name the?
Yeah, specialty freight services.
Okay. How much freight you towing?
A lot of freight.
Yeah?
They've been in business for like 35 years now.
Ballpark the
So
freight for me.
Yeah.
what happened?
How much freight are we talking?
How much
Just
freight?
off the top of your head.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of freight. They say they're a $65 million company, so that's a lot of freight, and it's family owned. So
Sweet.
Wow.
if you think about what
That's a little-
FedEx is doing compared to them, they're doing pretty good too, and
So-
it's family owned. So
So what exactly are you? You're an account executive. What are you selling for the company? Are you selling the freights themselves? Or are you selling what's being...
the service. We're like the middleman. So if anyone has a product they need shipped on a pallet that's larger than like postal, they come to us because we have our broker's license. So they come to us, use the broker's license, and then we're able to set them up with a carrier to move the shipment.
So are you selling like an entire service? Or are you selling like, hey, I have George in Maple Shade that can take your freight out to California?
No, so we're asset based. So we have our own trucks and it can go on our own truck. But basically, if they need something without the further than the distance we do, then we will use like other carriers to go further and stuff like that. So if they need something moved, they'll come to us and then we'll just put it out on the DOT system, and then other people will drivers and stuff on that system, if
Got
they're
it.
qualified, can decide to choose to get
They
the
bid?
pickup. Yeah, so kind of like that. So.
What do you do?
Yeah,
There's
what's the
a-
day-to-day look like?
Yeah.
Like if
My
you-
day today is a lot of cold calling, visiting customers.
Oh.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm on the road most of the day, so I like it because I'm an active person. I
Sure.
don't like to sit in an office, and I'm not in the office. So I go and make cold calls, or I'll take customers to lunch. I'll bring them in stuff, make sure everything's okay.
What's a trucker like to eat?
Well, so I'm not working with the trucker.
Okay.
So I'll go to for example, I was in Vineland today, Vineland, New Jersey, and I was visiting a blueberry company. It's like a huge blueberry company, but you need your produce shipped. It's really crazy once you start getting into the industry. You realize how much everything we buy is shipped.
Yeah.
So the industry is huge.
So-
So it's
so-
kind of interesting.
Cool. So you're part of like a mom and pop shop that you said. It's a family-owned kind of situation.
Not my family, but yes.
But yeah, another family you work for. Now, is it pretty competitive where you're out there kind of talking shit to other
Yes.
salespeople? Or
I
really?
mean, it's competitive because we're going against FedEx and UPS and stuff.
Ah.
FedEx does freight, but then there's other giant carriers, like T-Force is a big one, and then Old Dominion,
Yeah.
SCs, and stuff like that.
Hey, what's your name again?
Gabrielle.
Gabrielle. I don't even think we got your name. I apologize.
That's okay.
Gabrielle, I'm Kyle with the Mango Tree Limited. I've got 3 tons of mangoes that I need shipped out of here. Stat. Sell me.
So I always directly go to our service. So usually these bigger carriers, you can't get in touch with anyone directly. So if there's anything wrong with your shipment, any problems, you can contact me specifically at any hours
What if my
of the day.
mangoes fall over on Interstate 80 at 4 o'clock in the morning? Are you going to be awake,
Yeah,
Gabrielle?
Well, we have a great insurance claim. We do all of our insurance claims in-house, so we can handle that.
But Gabrielle,
for
I
you,
want
too.
to talk to you. Will somebody be there at the phone
I will
24/7?
be, yes. I can answer the phone. I mean, that's half of sales, getting the sales in itself is being available to the customers and stuff like that.
Sure.
So if you can't be available to the customers, you're not going to get half the like sales you do.
So 4 o'clock, my mangoes fall on
Yeah,
I-80.
I mean, I've answered on a Friday night one of my customers that needed a shipment to
What
go on
time?
Saturday night, like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Oh
whatever.
God, those are the worst. When you're at a bar
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
half in the bag and you got to pretend to do a work call. I've been there many a
Yeah,
times.
yeah,
I hear
so-
you.
I like it.
I mean, yeah, but it's. I mean, I like it. So
Good.
Yeah,
Well,
here I am.
you sold me. So if I ever do that Mango Company Truck Limited, I will reach out to
And
you.
there's a lot more into it, but yeah, that's
Of
like
course.
the gist. So.
You did.
Of
I
course.
literally did know nothing about this job, and now I do, and I feel like a smarter person. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, anytime. And everyone use specialty freight services.
Specialty
Everybody
freight services.
use
Hit 'em up.
specialty. Countrywide?
Yeah, actually international as well. So,
Ooh,
there
not
you go.
bragging.
Little
Yeah.
small
Yeah.
mom and pop going national.
How
Going
about that?
international.
And it's not just trucking. We do air, ocean, everything.
Holy
So, yeah.
shit.
Uh-huh.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be you guys right now.
Yeah, it could be.
There we go. A couple mangoes on there.
All right.
Yeah.
I do believe she'll be up at 4 in the morning if my mango truck fell over. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for coming
you're
on.
welcome.
Yeah, girl, thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it.
Yes, that was great.
All right, well that's it. That's everything. Everyone's leaving, so we're gonna follow. Thanks for everybody listening. Blue collar babies, the middle class mummies, the white collar criminals, and you, the 1%. Because if you made it to the end of this, I freaking hate you for not investing in this podcast yet. I mean, you obviously like it. We're like 13 episodes in, so like if you could just shoot us a line at minutepodcast@gmail.com, it'd be really nice. And then if you go to the Patreon, patreon.com/menatworkpod, if you want more of this sweet bonus content, you can find us there. We're running a promotion for $1 $1 a month for the first 50 people to subscribe. Other than that, Maddie, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Nah, dude, check the page. Tell us what you want us to do. We like seeing a lot of people commenting in the YouTube videos, letting us know where you'd like to see us. That's what we do, dude. Tell us where to go, and we'll be there. So give us some ideas. We love it.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk to you later.
Peace.